Hello friends, welcome to Databricks video tutorials, and today's session I am going to give you brief introduction to Databricks workspace limits. Like whenever you are working any Azure Databricks projects, you should know these limitations. Based on this, you can start working on your development and you can overcome these issues. So the major limitations are, if you look at this Databricks workspace limits, the maximum number of jobs that a workspace can create per hour is 1000, like less than 1000. So per hour more than 1000 you cannot create a workspace jobs. And another important thing is concurrent jobs, like more than 150 jobs simultaneously, you mean parallelly you cannot run more than 150 jobs. Mean parallel jobs continuously, like you cannot run more than 150 jobs. You need to remember this whenever you are scheduling your work notebooks. So remember this. So instead of going for multiple jobs, a single job can call multiple notebooks. You can make it dependency and you can run that. So this is another option, you can overcome these issues. And another one is there will be maximum 150 notebooks or execution context to the particular cluster. So whenever you are going for scheduling jobs and you are attaching this notebooks or execution context to the cluster, right? So that cluster can have maximum 150 notebooks. So you cannot attach more than 150 notebooks. So there is another option, you can go with another cluster, or you can trigger less than 150 notebooks, but you can make it dependency and you can call one notebook into another notebook using percentage run or widgets notebook run. So that two options you can use. And there is other subscription limits. So if you are going with Azure Databricks, so the Azure Databricks will be created in Azure subscription. So there are a few limitations. Those are storage accounts per region per subscription is maximum 250 per region per subscription. So if you are looking for more storage accounts, go with the multiple subscriptions, or use the same storage account and go with the multiple folders. Okay, maintain the structure, folder structure hierarchy, and you can save that. Another one is maximum ingress. So the whatever bandwidth, outgoing bandwidth, for general version V2 blob storage accounts for is 50 Gbps. This is only egress. So this is another one for wherever you are using this Databricks. And VMs. So if you are using VMs, per subscription per region maximum 25k. So these are the virtual machines. If you are going with the virtual machines per region per subscription, maximum this is the limit. And resource groups per subscription is, this is the limit, 980. So this is okay. Azure subscriptions is okay only for Databricks notebooks, jobs and concurrent jobs. So you have to remember this, because here you can go with the same subscription, same storage accounts, and you can go with the structure, folder structure, hierarchical folder structure. But here if you have a more than 150 notebooks attached to the cluster, you have to remember that you have to reduce that and you have to reuse whatever you have created notebooks. So there's the limitations. And if it is reaching more than 1000 jobs per hour, you will get this error. And there is another option you can raise with support, Databricks support, to increase the maximum jobs creation rate to up to 2000. There is an option, but parallel jobs, like simultaneously, maximum it will be 150, but per hour they can increase up to 2000. There is a second option, you can go with this. These are limitations, Databricks workspace and subscription limitations. And there are other things when you are going with clusters. So there are three types of clusters you can create for your requirement. One is the data analytics. So data analytics mainly for machine learning, directly loading data and analyzing data. So there, another one is the data engineering. So mainly for ETL projects, whenever you are doing end-to-end ETL projects with Azure Databricks, you can choose this cluster type. Another one is data engineering lite. So here they already mentioned, here you can see what the features you will get here. So data engineering lite, you can use this, they will charge very less price. So that I will show you another video, pricing concept. But if you look at this, if you have already some Spark jar files, developed jar files, just you want to trigger Spark jar file, you can go with data engineering lite cluster. So they will charge very less per hour. And if you have a notebooks in Azure Databricks, so that's why you can see job scheduling with the notebooks, autopilot clusters, and Databricks runtime for ML, manage flow ML. So these all are managed Delta Lake. So Delta Lake, these all options you will if you go with the data engineering. And another disadvantage is single cluster, sometimes you will get errors simultaneously or parallelly. If you are running with the same, you will get error. That is a data engineering one. But normally we will go with ETL, any ETL projects we will go with the data engineering type. And data analytics is charged, they will charge very huge, because this is mainly for data science team and data mainly for future analytics, which they can directly analyze, extract the data and analyze without scheduling, not for data transformations, just for analyzing. There you will get additional features. Here you can see interactive clusters, notebooks and collaborations, ecosystems integration. So these are the additional features if you go with data analytics. So based on your requirement, you can choose this. So normally machine learning and other team members, they can go with data analytics if parallel multiple people are retrieving and creating reports in Databricks itself. Otherwise, if you are doing a data engineering job, just you are extracting data, doing transformations and loading data, you can go with the data engineering. Another one is if you have any existing Spark code, the jar files are available, you want to trigger that, you can go with data engineering lite. So prices wise, this is, they will charge very less price, and data engineering medium price, and high price is data analytics. So if you have ETL projects, go with blindly this one. If you want to develop new notebooks and develop everything in Azure Databricks, go with the data engineering. Otherwise, only scheduling your existing Spark jobs, you can go with data engineering. Like these are the standard plan features. So if you like this video, please subscribe my channel to get latest updates on my channel. Thank you for watching my videos. Thank you very much.